for now. Just play. You can play the call coordinator, and I'll just play the seller, and I'll just kind of be, generic personality guy who home expired, and um, I'll hit you with a couple objections, and let's just see what we can do from here. So,
Okay.
all right,
Great,
ring,
great.
ring. Hello?
Yes, hi there. Is this Jim?
Yeah, this is Jim.
Yes, hi Jim. This is JC, and I work with the real estate team. And how are you doing today?
Good. How are you doing?
Oh, great, great. Thanks for asking. Well, my reason for my call is that I saw your home that came off the market, and I want to find out if it's still available or if it actually sold.
Oh, yeah. Oh, gotcha. You're an agent calling about the house. Okay. Yeah, we're not looking to sell. I think the market kind of shifted, and um, mm, we're probably just gonna wait for a little while, take it off.
Oh, well, Jim, what are the circumstances that would enable you to sell? I mean,
Um, I don't know. I mean, the other agent kind of, uh, we weren't too happy with them, and we had our home on the market for, geez, about a year now. So we're not in a rush. So I mean, I don't really know if there's a circumstance that would enable us to sell. I mean, we're more looking to get, you know, what we're looking for price wise out of the house, and it just didn't seem like it worked out this time. So we're probably just gonna wait.
oh, okay, all right. So are we looking like a good commission there, Jim, to go ahead and would you like a good commission to go ahead and sell that home? Is that what you're looking for, or are we looking just a better price than where you had it on the market?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to reduce your commission, that would be great. But we're concerned more about getting what we want. We're happy to pay an agent, but it's got to sell. So, um,
Right, right, definitely. Yeah, we definitely we specialize in pretty much selling homes that didn't sell the first time, and I was hoping, you'd be free to get together for about 15 minutes or so. We could talk about sell and what needs to happen in order for you to sell at this point. Because definitely, I see where we're going with it, and I see what you would like to have happen. So I'm definitely taking note of what you're telling me here. And I don't know what usually works better for you. I mean, is it like the weekends or weekdays for you in the morning or in the afternoon there, Jim?
oh, yeah, we're not gonna. Like I said, we're not gonna probably sell for a while, and um, I'm not gonna put it back on the market because winter's here, and I think we're just probably gonna stay.
Oh, and do you think I mean, do you just want the winter to pass by, or do you want to just, because I mean, we could talk about numbers. I mean, I would like to really, get together and see how we can lower that commission as well and get you a better price there for your home.
Uh, I mean, how low can you go on commission?
Oh, definitely. That is a great question. A good question to ask. I'm an assistant on the team, and I can definitely go ahead and get my partner, which is also called Jim, by the way, and I can get him to get together with you so you guys can really talk numbers since he's the specialist on this.
Oh, okay. So you're not a real estate agent then? You're just calling about the house.
Yeah, I was just calling about the house, and I'm actually the assistant on the team, and I kind of I'm partnered with Jim, which he knows more of the area and your neighborhood as well. So that'll be I'll be pretty much the guy to go ahead and get together with.
Okay. Um, I mean, I don't know. I'm not really sure. I definitely have to talk with my spouse about it first because I know we both agreed to not put it back on the market. Um, and even if we do, I'm just not sure if we're willing to list it, and put it on the market. But if you want to bring us a buyer, we'd be happy to show it. Um,
Yeah, I can really appreciate that. It sounds like you want to make sure that your spouse is part of all the decision making, right?
yeah, yeah, we do.
Oh, okay, fantastic. And if you were to both meet with agents in the future, I mean, would that be better on this weekend is fine for you in the afternoon or in the evening?
Well, I mean, if we were to meet, probably I'd have to be on the weekend.
Oh, okay, great, great. Does that work in the mornings or in the afternoon for either of you?
We're pretty morning like people. Try to we get up early, so probably mornings would be better for us.
Oh, okay, great, great. In the meantime, what's a good email address where we can go ahead and send the market analyst and also a little information about our team and how we work while the weekend gets around here?
Okay. Yeah, I guess it's like somewhat hesitant seller at gmail.com.
Okay, great, great. Thank you there, Jim. Fantastic. All righty, well, we'll go ahead and I'll go ahead and give you a call back and just to verify and double check there. Is it good at 3 p.m.? Does that work for you?
Call back at 3 p.m.
Well, actually, meet at 3 p.m. Sorry about that, Jim. Yeah, meet at 3 p.m. Is that a good time? You said in the weekends it work pretty good.
Oh no, yeah, we're not gonna meet uh, quite yet. I think we're just gonna hold off. But I mean, do you have a buyer that you can bring to the house, or are you just gonna kind of come and try to list it?
Well, actually, we're going to go ahead and see if I can. What I'll do is I'll send you the information this evening, and then I'll go ahead and speak with with Jim on this because I remember that I think he had a buyer. He had a couple buyers there in that side of town there. So definitely, let me have Jim give you a call back tomorrow morning if that's fine with you.
Yeah, I mean that would be fine if he's got some buyers.
Yeah, I think he had I'm not sure if it was. Yeah, I think he had a couple buyers that I remember him talking about in this area. So yeah, let me go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and forward this information to Jim, and he should give you a call in the morning there.
Okay.
Right. Okay. Well, it's been a pleasure there, Jim, and thank you for receiving my call, and I hope you have a wonderful afternoon.
All right, great. Thank you too. All right, click.
Bye bye.
So, all right, cool. So good job, Jesse.
Yeah, I lost that last one.
Yeah.
I lost that last question on. Got a couple of buyers. I couldn't grasp that one.
Yeah, that one's number 3. If you want to turn to it quick. So like, but you did great, honestly, JC, for basically your first time doing it. That was pretty good. So, just a couple things to kind of help improve is I think you did a great job of agreeing and just being kind of yeah, great, we can definitely help you. Like, that's cool. Just kind of a neutral personality is awesome to have because, obviously your, background in sales and customer service, just be neutral. Angry, mad, happy, whatever. You're cool. um,
Okay.
but a couple things I do want to address. One, never talk about commission. Just eliminate that. So basically, if we have to give up money, it's going to be because I have gone and tried everything else before that happens. So um, it's also and it's also a legality issue too. Technically, because you guys aren't licensed, there are some things that we can't talk about. Um, one of them is any type of negotiation. So, like, you technically can't negotiate with a prospective seller if you don't have a license. Meaning, if he asked you, well, what price could my house sell for, and you go, well, probably around 115. Don't ever say that. What you could say, which you did a good job of, just being like, well, I'm the assistant on the team, and that's actually a great question for Jim, who, he's our listing specialist, and he'll be able to answer that question, any questions you have, and then you can kind of go right back into the script. But if they say anything specific about price, um, area or location, so like if they ask you a question, anything relative to the home that might lead to a sale, technically we're not supposed to talk about. So price is a big one, and commissions are a second one. So just kind of make a note of that, JC. If someone asks you a question where you're like, I'm not really sure how to respond to that, just be like, that's a great question. In fact, I'm an assistant on the team, and that's something that we can definitely have one of our licensed specialists give you a call about. Unfortunately, I can't talk to you about that. So I'll have Jim give you a call. He can address those concerns with you. He's our listing specialist, and like I said, we're part of a team, so he'll be the expert to get your questions answered. What's a good way I can have him reach you? So um, something like that. So we don't always lower our commission because that's actually one of the things that we try to never do. um,
Right.
because most of the time I can negotiate better than any other agent out there, or the marketing that we do will just get them more money. So on average, just because we track our numbers, one of the things I usually tell people is um, basically above and beyond what the other top 20% of realtors will do to get them more money. Above and beyond that, I'll get you an extra 3.8% just as an average. So I more than cover my commission. In fact, there are certain things that we do to get you way more than 3.8%. Most of the time, people don't understand if you try to sell it yourself, you're dealing in a wholesale market. Even though you think you're cutting the commission, you're also cutting everything else that validates a higher price. So what we do is we get you everything we can in a retail market. So I'll get you more money. I'm concerned not as much as my commission as much as you're going to walk away with. Wouldn't you agree you'd rather walk away with more money in your pocket versus having to worry about commission? So there are certain things that we can kind of talk about, but it's veering on one of those things where should you ever call an agent? Let's say an agent put their number as the seller, just for sometimes they do that, and you got to be careful. If you ever get caught, um, it's a huge no no for us. So just make note of that, JC. Like price, anything negotiating or commission, just shy away from that and just say, you know what, I'm the assistant. Let's talk to Jim. Um, the other thing too, uh, try to see if we can maybe ask him some more questions. And what I like to do is I consider the expired script itself, that's going to be your core of your conversation flow. And the main reason why is I never want to have you talk more than a person on the phone because that's really, I want them talking so they can kind of come out of their shell and really start building rapport with them and not coming off salesy in the beginning. So really kind of asking them questions, which you did a great job of doing. What I will say is I like to consider the expired script how I'm going to take the conversation, and then the objection handlers are things I'm just going to do if I get asked a specific question, or if there's a way to, handle something that pops up. Like if someone does ask you a valid question, or if they're concerned about something, the objection handlers to me are just a way to kind of, you know, sound professional, address that, and then come right back to my core script. So, for example, if someone is throwing something at you and you're like, um, great. So, the reason I'm calling is I saw your home came off the market. Just want to see if it's still available or if it actually sold. Oh no, we're not looking to sell. I mean, the other agent we had a bad experience with them. We're not going to sell it using an agent. If anything, I'm going to do it by myself for sale by owner, and that's what we're already doing. Okay, great. So at this point, this guy just said like three different objections. So
Right.
this is kind of where people get stuck is if they say something like that where they maybe lump a couple objections together, or maybe they say something kind of vague where it's like I'm not sure if that was a question or where do we go from here. So what I tell people is if you ever get confused on do I answer one of those objections, like what do I say, just go back to your expired scripts. Gotcha. So sounds like it's kind of a tough experience that you had in the past. Let me ask you then, George, when are you looking to hire the right agent for the job to get your home sold? Oh, like I said, I'm not looking for an agent. I'm just going to sell it myself. Gotcha. Okay, so you're looking to do it for sale by owner. Um, George, let me ask you. I mean, do you need to sell your home? Well, maybe. I mean, I don't know. I didn't address I didn't address the fact that he wants to go for sale by owner. I'm not trying to convince him. I'm trying to see if this guy really does need to sell his house and what his time frame is. Because the two main goals on the phone, JC, with any of these leads is to figure out their motivation and to figure out their time frame. That will set up everything you're going to do for the rest of your time with this lead. If this guy is totally unrealistic and he's just like, I don't need to sell it, I'm just trying to make $1 million, great. You know what? Let me have Jim actually kind of talk to you about price and see if that's something that we can get you. But if in fact that's the case, would you be at least willing to meet with us? Sure, great, okay. Set the appointment, and then we'll see whether this guy is completely off base or not. But mainly, when you're on the phone, you definitely want to stick to, before you hang up, at least get from the person what their motivation is. Is this person really truly motivated? And then what is their time frame for doing it? So time frame is how we classify all of our leads. If this guy's motivated, he really does need to sell, or even if he does want to sell, but you know he's a little bit further down the road, that's cool. We classify them in a different category. And so we'll kind of talk about that in different training. But everything that we do with leads, if you don't get the appointment right now, they're getting classified. So that's really important. And then obviously your overarching three main goals with any phone call, even if you're just talking to a stranger on the street, and we're doing cold calling, if we ever do that, um, is try to set an appointment. If you can't do that, ask for a referral. And so what we don't have a script right now for you guys like that we sent over. I'll get you one, but basically, let's say in this conversation, JC, was kind of awkward and didn't really want to push him. That's fine. Set a callback, but then before you hang up, just be like, you know what? Hey Jim, real quick, I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask you. Um, since we didn't get to necessarily meet today, I do want to ask you because we do proactively prospect for clients um, and buyers for our clients. Do you happen to know anybody who's looking to either buy, sell, or invest in real estate, either from church or work? And I kid you not, JC, if you ask that question 72 times, you'll get a lead. That statistically, I have to ask that question about 72 to 75 times, and I'll get a closed sale off of it. It's a very powerful question. Most people stop right there if they can't get the appointment. Go one step further. All right, great. I didn't close you. Do you know anybody? And who knows? That might actually impress them because we're telling them one of the things we do differently is we prospect for clients. So if you're not going to be our client, do you know anybody else who can be our client? So that's one of the things I always go for. And then obviously if they don't have someone, then just build rapport. That's always your third goal. So set the appointment, ask for a referral, build rapport. Those are your overarching three goals. And then your two specific goals are find and dig about motivation, and then what's their time frame. Does that make sense? So.
Yeah, no. All sense. I was just it's just not working.
Okay, no biggie. So that's just something I want to touch on too. So this was good though. I mean, if you hang up and you don't get the appointment, do you know how soon I need to move? And then why am I moving? So try to dig about that. Sometimes I'll ask that question 3 different times. Great. So do you need to sell your house? Well, I'm just going to sell it myself, and we're not in a rush. Great. So why don't you put your home on the market? Well, we're looking to, I don't know, move to Florida, and that's sometime in the future. Okay, great. So perfect world. When do you need to be there? Well, probably as soon as possible. Okay, great. And if you don't sell, what would that do for you? Well, I don't really know, and I'll probably just stay here. Great. So it sounds like you don't need to sell this house, but you're really trying to get to Florida. Is that right? Yeah, we're trying to get there. Great. So why are you getting to Florida? Are you retiring? What's prompting the move? Well, I am retiring and I just want to enjoy the warm weather. Okay, gotcha. So let me ask you then, if you're not in a rush, but you do want to go enjoy the warm weather, if we can say, if we can kind of find a solution that gets you what you want in the time frame that makes sense for you, and we can get you to Florida so you can start enjoying the warm weather as soon as possible, would you be willing to meet with us? Yeah, okay, I'd be willing to do that. Okay, great. So realistically, let's say I gave you a cash offer and we closed in 30 days. Is that going to pose a problem for you? Uh, Maybe. I mean, it might be a little too soon. Okay. So what if we made it 60 days? Is that a little bit better? Maybe. Okay. How about 3 months? That's more like it. Gotcha. So really, you need to probably get there in about 3 months. That would be a comfortable time, right? Yeah, great. That's exactly why we need to meet. When's a good time for us to talk about how we can get you to Florida so you can enjoy your sun and tan and get you retired. Is tomorrow at 5 a good time? Sure. Boom. I know when this guy's moving, why he's moving, and I had to ask it a few different times. So eventually, JC, you'll get really good at digging out of them. If you ask them, do you need to sell your house? They're probably not going to give you a straight answer that first time. Well, no. Who is this guy? Like, I don't know you. Like, maybe if I got the right price. Okay, great. Tell me why that's important. Well, why it's important, I get most money. Okay, I understand that. I know you're trying to make as much as possible. Our goal is really to net you as much as possible. I want to make sure you can put as much money in your pocket as we humanly can. But why would you need that money? I mean, what is that going to be used for? Are you moving to another place, or is this like a retirement nest egg, or what are you going to use that money for? Well, I need to buy another house. Gotcha. So you need to sell this house to get to your other one. Is that right? Yeah. We can't move until we sell it. Okay. So if you don't sell this one, you can't move to the other one because that's 2 mortgage payments, pretty much. Is that right? Yeah, that's pretty much it. That'd be uncomfortable. Okay. And so if you didn't move, what does that do for you and your family? Well, if we didn't move, we'd have to transfer the kids' school district, I guess, by August. Gotcha. So August is like 6 months down the road. Um, so if you don't get out of here by August, I mean, that's going to affect your family, right? Now your kids are going to have to go to a different school. What would that look like? Oh, shit, I don't know. I mean, that would be weird. I guess I didn't even think about it. And okay, so Mr. Stone, let me ask you. It sounds like you really need to get your house sold in less than 6 months. And that's exactly why we need to meet. In fact, we actually specialize in homes that didn't sell the first time. And because the kids' schools are coming up in 6 months, I think it's really great if we talk about, what we need to do to get your house sold by then and what needs to happen in order for you to move on at this point. So when's a good time for us to meet and talk about that? Take about 15 minutes. What works better, weekends or weekdays? And then you're just going to be like a machine, JC. You get their motivation, you figure out their time frame, you close the appointment. If you can't do that, ask for a referral. If you can't do that, just be a nice person. And then we'll call them back until you can get the appointment.
Yeah. What's that $1 million question you asked him on? I know you said work or church,
Yeah.
or sell by, or
Yep.
want to get into real estate. I mean, that was the correct sentence completely.
Yeah. So basically, so Mr. Seller, just before you go, I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask you, because we proactively prospect for clients for ourselves and buyers for our sellers. Who do you know who's looking to either buy, sell, or invest in real estate from either church or work? And so, and the reason why we say that too, JC, like a lot of people are like, why do you say church or work? Like, why don't you say, who do you know? It's because mentally, your brain can't function if you ask, uh, who do you know who needs to buy a new car? Your brain can't process automatically. You're thinking about all the people you know, and it automatically shuts down. So, literally, and this is why our scripts are really powerful, is because we've even like looked at the psychology of asking people questions on how to phrase it. There's a little thing called your RAS, and what your RAS stands for in your brain is your reticular activation system. And what that does is that it actually allows you to take in just a small amount of information so you literally don't melt down, because your brain processes thousands of things per second. But consciously, you can't hold that many things at one point. So, what this little part of your brain does, it filters out what you think is important, essentially. So, if you're driving a car, there's a million things coming around you. There's a lot of images. There's music playing, and you got multiple things going. And your RAS is hard at work just predicting what's really important. So if a guy comes and cuts you in your lane and you need to move, it's that specific system that allows you to say, eliminate everything else that's going on. It's very important to focus on this. So when we ask people specific questions, we literally have it down to a science, kid you not, where if you ask someone, who do you know? That question's too big. Your RAS is going to shut your brain down and say, not going to work. I need a more specific thing because if I pull the file out mentally that says, who do I know? That's a huge file. I shut down and I can't think of anybody and I won't get a referral. Versus if I say, well, who do you know from either church or work? Well, I'm retired, so I don't go to work. So who do I know from church? Oh, Sandy. Sandy's in church. Yeah, Sandy said she was thinking about buying a house pretty soon. Great. And your chances of getting a referral are much higher. So everything that we do is very played out in terms of like how we design our scripts, especially the sentence like in the beginning, JC. The first thing you're going to tell people is, well, great. The reason I'm calling is I saw your home coming to the market. When are you looking to hire the right agent for the job to sell it? That is your first question. Even if someone comes out and says, I hate you and agents and I hope you all burn, great. When are you looking to hire the right agent for the job to sell your house? That's your first question. One of the things that people mess up is they don't say when. It's kind of an implied imperative. So like you're basically telling the person like, I'm going to list with you. So when are you looking to interview me? And you put it in the beginning because you're psychologically setting that person up, and they're going to be going in terms if you're controlling the conversation and asking these questions, you're like automatically setting them up to come through this filter, and then you close them. And the better you are at building rapport and asking the questions in the front, it's going to seem more natural of a transition to get the appointment. And so that's why I tell people, don't change the scripts. Do exactly what's on here first. Then once that's comfortable and you feel like you really have internalized it, and then it's just going to come out naturally in whatever way that you speak. So, for me, I'm a little bit more of a direct type personality on the phone, but some people might be more social, some people are more specific, and they want to tell you all the little things we do. Whatever it is, as long as you memorize this process and feel comfortable with it, then it kind of comes out and you regurgitate the script almost naturally. So, like for example, if I didn't have a script in front of me, I would know my process is, hey, this is Jim. I work with the real estate team. How you doing today? Great. Listen, the reason I'm calling, I saw your home came off the market. I want to know if it actually sold or still available. Well, we sold it. Great. Immediately, if that actually happens and they say, oh, I sold it. Great. Did you move to another place? No, we didn't. Great. We'd love to see if we can help you and earn your business. So where in fact are you moving to? And it's like, boop, it just comes out. I don't think about it. It's just second nature. So, for you, JC, if you can keep reading and practicing this until this becomes second nature, where you just know immediately, first thing I say is this, then the second thing I say is when are you looking to hire the right agent for a job to sell it? And then the next thing you're going to do is start asking questions and building rapport. Or based on how they respond to that question, if they're in a rush or whatever, maybe you close them sooner. To get someone on the phone, he's like, I'm fine. Yeah, how can I help you? What's going on? Well, great. I was actually calling. I know you sound like you're a busy person. I don't want to waste your time, but we specialize in selling houses that didn't sell and see if we can close them. So it's really important that if you can as well, JC, depending on that type of personality, ask more questions. And use as many as you can from that too soon of a close, and just kind of understand that natural transition is, when are you looking to hire the right agent? Great. Do you need to sell your house? Now, based on that question, the natural transition of the conversation is, no, I don't need to sell my house. Okay, great. Do you want to sell your house? Well, yeah, obviously. Well, great. That's exactly why I'm calling you, because obviously you did want to sell your home. So tell me about that. Where are you moving to? Well, we needed to move to South Carolina. Great. When did you need to be there? We're not in a rush. Okay. So why did you first put your home on the market then? Well, we just wanted to see how much money we can get. Okay. Well, why do you think your home didn't sell? Well, I don't know. My agent probably sucked, or the market was hard, or whatever it was. Great. So why did you choose that last agent? How'd you go about doing that? Was it a friend, family, referral? What did you like about them? What do you feel they should have done better or should have done? Great. Okay. So it sounds like, your agent did as best they could, but obviously the home didn't sell. And it's not probably because the agent didn't try or it's a lack of effort. It's probably just in their approach. And honestly, I think that's why we really need to get together, because it sounds like you need to get to South Carolina before your kids go back to school. That's closing in pretty fast, but you still also need to get as much money as possible. So I was calling because we really do specialize in helping people do just that. And we want to make sure that we can get you and your family and your kids to South Carolina before the school starts. And I was hoping to see if you're free for about 15 minutes, talk about why your house didn't sell and what we need to do to get you there. What works better for you, weekends or weekdays. And so, based on the questions that they hit you after, you'll either get objections, JC, typically right after you ask them, when are you looking to hire the right agent? And then from that point, you kind of want to still stick to your script because you haven't asked them enough questions yet. So address it and then go right back to it. Now, once you get through quite a bit of questions, like you pretty much have a good understanding of why they're selling. So you know their motivation. They need to move because their kids are in school, or it's a financial strain, or whatever the real reason why they're moving, not just I want to sell it. That doesn't count. I don't care. Everybody wants to sell their house so they can get $1 million. Why did you put it on the market? I want to know what is a pain or what is a pleasure you're trying to either get away from or go towards. And so by finding that out, then you can now use that, and then the agent can use that when we go to try to knock them down in the appointment and get the client. So that's super important, and then how soon they need to do that will also dictate whether or not we actually go on that appointment. If someone's trying to sell their house 3 years from now, well, great, let's keep talking to you, but I'm not going to spend my time as much with you as versus going and finding someone else who is serious. So it's good to know all those things, and then once you kind of have a really good idea in those two areas, got a little bit of rapport built with them, now let's close them. And that's typically how that conversation will flow. Cool?
Let's see here. Can you just throw at me that last, naturally how you do before you go?
Gotcha.
Just make sure.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
I like that, Jim. I'm going to have to take something with me before hanging out.
Yeah. No, you're good. So, JC, before you go real quick, I just wanted to ask you, because I wouldn't be doing my job unless I did. Like I mentioned before, we proactively prospect for clients for our sellers and buyers for our sellers. So I wanted to ask you, who do you know who's looking to either buy, sell, or invest in real estate from either church or work?
All right, Jim. I'm going to be just like you, Jeremy. Look when I'm saying it, Jim.
Yep.
Just like you. You ready?
Yep.
All right. Taking note. Yeah, definitely. I mean, it flows smoothly, and definitely I just hope to be a specialist just like
Yeah, you'll get there.
Definitely I learned.
You're a rock star. JC,
Yeah,
you're
go ahead.
what I like to tell people is we're looking for Ferraris who are out of gas, and we need to put some gas in there.
Nice. Yes, Jim. Definitely.
So
yeah, I got a couple in mind, so I can't wait till we really get this going in a big scale, or whenever we start making teams and whatnot. Because,
yeah.
I got a couple that are just we over there. I guess we have metrics to earn bonuses